Welcome back to the Bitcoin Digital Course, episode 11. In today's episode, we're going to teach you how to trade a shitcoin for Bitcoin. So this is one of the things that I don't recommend doing, but I know a lot of people are going to attempt to do it. So I might as well at least teach you the proper way to set up one of these bots, just in case you want to get your shitcoin on. Highly not recommended, but we will show you how dangerous and what the ramifications for this are. Now, the plus side to setting up this style of bot is you are going to be trading a shitcoin for Bitcoin, which means every time you're taking profit, you are taking profit into Bitcoin, which is a huge plus because you can drastically expand your Bitcoin portfolio and your Bitcoin wealth. So the only reason that we're going to ever own a shitcoin is because we are going to trade it for Bitcoin, simultaneously rapid trading it in an algorithmic way that we should not be able to lose money if done properly. Now, there are some dangers to this strategy that I've faced personally. Okay, now before we set up a Bitcoin XRP bot, I want to show you the fundamentals of how these trading pairs work because they are completely different than if you are trading Bitcoin for USDT versus trading XRP for Bitcoin, because your base currency now becomes Bitcoin, where when you're setting up a BTC USDT bot, the base currency is USDT. And remember how we explained the 65-35% rule? You need 65% of the base currency to start your bot. You need 35% of the quote currency. So previously, we needed 65% in USDT. With this bot, we need 65% in Bitcoin. The previous bot, we needed 35% in Bitcoin for the Bitcoin USDT bot. For the XRP Bitcoin bot, we need 35% of XRP. So I kind of want to walk you through how this setup process worked and what the grid levels are and how these bots interact. So how we are going to set this bot up is we're going to be trading a Bitcoin XRP pair. The total bot size is going to be 0.0997 BTC, which is going to come out to a total of $9,812 of USDT. We're going to set this bot up with 98 grid levels, and we're going to set the grid step to 0.42%. So when we have $9,812 of our total bot value, we have 98 grid levels. That means our bot's going to be trading $100.17 per trade, but we're just going to round to keep it simple. So we're going to say 100 times 0.0042, which is your 0.42% grid levels. This is how often your bot is going to trade. It's going to make about 42 cents per trade. Now, when it's getting that profit, it is getting paid 42 cents in Bitcoin per trade. So if this bot does 100 trades a day and it makes 42 cents profit per trade, that's going to be roughly $42 per day that this bot will be able to generate you in passive income. So if we take a look at that over a 30-day period, it would be $1,260. Now, if we take a look at when we're going to back test this bot, it's going to tell us that this bot should average roughly around 10% in predicted profit, which would give you about $981 per month. So I would say that between their predictions and what I've just broke down here, if this bot, very questionable, if it makes 100 trades a day, which is very possible, it'll bring in about $1,260 per month. So that means if we started our bot with $9,812, and we divide that by our estimated average profit per month, which is $1,260, that means in 7.9 months, if price stays exactly where it's at today, and it just goes down and then goes up, goes down and goes up, but ends up exactly at the same price point of where it is today, that means that we would need about 7.9 months for this bot to break completely even. So after 7.9 months, this bot would made it enough. It would made back all of our $10,000. We can take that $10,000 out of the market. We can put it into Bitcoin, which is actually already going to be in Bitcoin, which is the huge upside, the way that we're going to trade these bots and set these bots up. That means that you have absolutely zero risk to the downside. So you can look at this two ways. You can take your profits from these bots and you can use it to put it into your portfolio, into a cold storage wallet. So every time you're taking profits once a month, you take that profit, like let's say it's $1,200, you take that Bitcoin, you take it off in exchange and you put it into a cold storage wallet and you're good. Now that means that your bot's going to pretty much stay at the same size. It's not going to actually level up and generate more passive income. The bot will be roughly capped out at making you $1,260 per month. Now, what you also could do is you could, after 7.9 months or 8 months, you could technically regrid your bot and you could double its size. And then you can go from making $1,260 a month to making $2,000, $540 per month. So you're drastically going to be able to determine if you want to level up your passive income generating, or maybe you're happy with the current passive income you've generated and you're just happy with your Bitcoin generating you, 20 to 79% per year. And you're happy putting it in a cold storage wallet, protecting your wealth with no more risk. Because at this point, if you take that Bitcoin off that centralized exchange and you only leave the profit that you have on there, even if this exchange gets wiped off the internet, gets raided by their government, or anything happens, you are at zero loss. All of these bots that you're seeing me set up, I've been running them for so long, they're all play money for me. Every one of them. So no matter how much I put into these bots right here to set these up, this 100 grand, I started these bots probably about 2 years ago now, on and off, trading different bots, different pairs, to the point where everything that I have in these bots, it's all profit. So I've personally used my passive income to continuously level up my bots. And that's why you say, like, I was making $16,000 over the last 8 months off just one bot. Now, the next big key piece of this I want to talk to you about is how these bots actually trade. And then we are going to get into the next piece of this strategy, which, stay tuned, you're really going to want to hear this part. So when we take a look at a bot, so the first thing I want you to understand is the difference between the quote currency, because these are terms that you're going to need to understand. You have a quote currency, which is BTC, and you have a base currency, which is XRP. So when we look over here on this chart and we look at our bots and how they're set up here, you see XRP. XRP is the base currency versus down here in this pair, BTC is the base currency. Now the quote currency is BTC for the XRP pair, and the quote currency down here is USDT. And what that means is that when this bot is trading, it is going to take the profits in the quote currency. So what that means is we have our quote currency, which is Bitcoin, and we have our base currency, which is XRP. So if you were taking a look at how the grids would be set up, I made them identical to what they are in our setup, but obviously I've only shown about 5 here or 6 here. And on ours, there's actually like 98 grids. But let's just take a look at a percentage of this chart. So what you're seeing here is we started this bot right here at $2.28. So when price comes down by 0.042%, it is going to buy $100 worth of XRP. It's going to take our Bitcoin. It's going to set a Bitcoin limit order right down here. And you can see the little circle green dot. So if price were to come down by 0.42%, it's going to buy $100 worth of XRP using Bitcoin. So I've used dollar amounts to keep it simple, but it would really be like 0.0000021 Bitcoin. So what it's doing is it's going to automatically start off and it's going to put these limit buy orders. And then as price comes down, it would buy. Now let's say it just comes down right here, just to 1, the first one. Then it goes back up to where it started. This dot right here would turn red. Or maybe it doesn't trade that first one because there's not enough of a movement. But let's say it buys here. And then after it buys here, it comes up. It's going to sell $100 worth of XRP. And it's going to take that and it's going to take that profit in Bitcoin. So it's going to start with, let's say, $100, and then it would actually made $100.42. Do you understand that? So it bought $100 worth of Bitcoin here. When it goes up here, it's going to sell that $100 worth of Bitcoin. Actually, it would sell it right here. Let's just say its first buy order was right here. Okay, so we start our bot at 228. It comes down almost to 227, but doesn't actually hit the 227 price point. And then price starts to come back up. When it gets to $2.28, it buys. Now it keeps going up and it hits this price point at $2.29. And it sells because it has came up by 0.24% from the lowest price point that it bought at, and it sells. Now, as soon as it sells, it's going to turn this green line, this red line green, and it's going to automatically place a limit buy order at that price point. Now, price keeps going up and it hits this next one. It sells another $100 worth of Bitcoin and makes 42% profit. And then it turns this line green. Then it goes up here and sells at $2.31 and it makes another 42 cents profit. Now, after it gets up to that next one, it would turn this line green after it sells at this price point. So now price starts coming back down. So what it's going to do here is it changed this line to green. It already has a limit buy order. The second price goes below this price point at $2.30. It's going to place another buy. Then it runs up here a little bit, comes back down again, goes up a little bit again, and comes back down again. Boom. As soon as it hits that price point at $2.29, it's going to buy more Bitcoin. Same thing right over here at $2.30, buys more Bitcoin or buys more XRP. And then comes down here again. As soon as it hits this point at $2.28, it buys another $100 worth of XRP. So every time it's buying, it's trading Bitcoin for XRP. And every time it's selling XRP for Bitcoin. So if we jump back at this analogy, this is 0.42 in Bitcoin. Now let's say over that month, it made you $1,260 in Bitcoin. And let's say today, Bitcoin is $100,000. So that means if you just save that in Bitcoin and over the next 1 year, Bitcoin turns into $200,000. Well, in reality, if you didn't sell that Bitcoin, this bot was actually making you $2,520 per day. That's pretty cool, right? Now, if Bitcoin goes to $1 million, this bot was really making you $12,600 per day. So when you set up these Bitcoin bots, what you're doing is you're also creating a demand for Bitcoin. So these are the plus sides to trading shitcoins like this. The plus side is you're adding liquidity to the market. So you're adding volume. More volume, the more price goes up. The more people are trading and buying and selling assets, the more demand there is for an asset, the more it's going to drive price up. So you're not only adding liquidity, you're adding demand. There's a constant buyer that's needing more Bitcoin. There is also the markets that you're making because you're taking profit in Bitcoin, which is huge. You're going to actually be DCing and you're going to be building your Bitcoin stack. And that's what this is all about. It's all about stacking more Bitcoin. So the more Bitcoin we can stack, the more money we can make. And the more Bitcoin we can stack, the more we can actually use that Bitcoin to generate more passive income. And eventually you create this flywheel where you're making $5,000, $10,000 a month of passive income. You never have to go into work. You never have to listen to a boss dictate when you can enjoy life. And that's what Eric Stacks calls escape velocity. When your Bitcoin is generating you enough passive income per year without doing anything with it, just from its value appreciating alone, you are at what we call escape velocity. So if you want to live a lifestyle that requires $5,000 a month of passive income, that means that you need to figure out how to take the money that you have now and get it to work for you and generate that money. And then once that is possible, now you've just freed up however many hours you work a week at work. Let's say you work 45 to 50 hours a week. Okay, now what can you do with those 50 hours that you got it back? And this is what it's all about. So let's dive into this bot. Let me walk you through how to set this up. And hopefully you guys can follow our lead. I'll just set up a copy bot as well. Now, previous bots that I've set up, I use a lot tighter of a grid because the idea is, or at least in my head, is if I'm trading at a 0.42% grid level, that's almost 0.5%. Now, before I overtalk it, let me walk you through setting up this bot and we'll kind of just play with it. Now, I'm not going to really be specific about how I'm setting this up because I'm just trying to figure out where my $10,000 and where I can put that to use, how I can set these grid levels up. We're going to set up a 36% grid level. So that means that as long as this bot or Bitcoin and XRP stay in this relative window, we don't have much to worry about. I think this is a safe place for me to be on this screen. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to come up here. We're going to choose start a new bot. Now, AI assistants launch an AI powered strategy in just a few clicks. I've never done that, but maybe we should try that one time. Let's just go with a basic grid bot. Okay, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to type in BTC. And what we're looking for is like a BTC XRP pair. XRP BTC. You can see it there at the very, very bottom. We're going to click that. And you can see what this strategy is saying that you need 14,650 XRP, or you need 1,465 XRP, and you need 0.03 BTC. And the total value of that bot is going to be $6,890. Okay. And if you set up that bot that way, and we ran a back test with 51 grid levels and a 0.6 grid step, your bot over the last 30 days would have generated you 9.27%. Now, let's say we put because our other one was a 0.35 grid level. And it's saying that the lowest I can go is a 0.42. Let's back test this. It's only 37 levels. Boom. Now we're up to 10%. So let's take a look at our range. And our range here is 35%. That's a big ass range. That is a really big range. Wow. All right. And we're on a 1 minute time frame. So let's go on to like a 1 day time frame. And we can see that a majority of the time, and this was in 2022 during the bull run, this was all the way back to 2021. So we're kind of in that range, in that cycle range. You know, I would like to come, this is how crazy the difference was between Bitcoin and XRP. And I would have had to weather that entire storm all the way down. Yeah, I set this bot up here. And then if I would have set that bot up, it would have been, that would have been a lot to the downside, 62% to the downside. That was how much Bitcoin was separating itself from XRP. And then out of nowhere, XRP runs up and does this crazy thing in here. So, the danger would be having to give it more Bitcoin. But with this setup, I think we'll be all right. So you can see there, that's another 15% to the downside. And if we just stay in this range right here, we stay below this or above this line, and our bot just trades up and down in this zone, we should be pretty kosher. We should be all right. So let's give this one. So this one only has $5,000, and this one's going to need 0.4 BTC, and it's going to need 1,059 XRP. So we have in our portfolio pretty much 0 XRP, and we have 0.6 BTC. That's our quote currency. So what it would do is it would actually go and buy you 1,905. So I need about 1,200 XRP. So give me 1 second. I'm going to go buy that XRP really quick on my cell phone. Okay, now the first thing I want to kind of point out is the fact that I could do this. Okay, so now we're going to do this on our phone, right? So I'm going to go into my app. Now I could automatically start this bot, and because it's a Bitcoin BTC pair, what it would do is it would start to take some of the extra Bitcoin that I have, and it would use that Bitcoin to buy XRP. But I never want to sell technically my Bitcoin I don't want to ever swap Bitcoin for BTC. So it's like I don't know how to explain it, but it's something I don't want to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the app on BYBIT, and I'm just going to buy the amount of XRP that I need with a stable coin. And I need like 1,095, which is perfect. I have exactly $2,533. So I can mark it by, how many XRP do I need? I only need 1,000 XRP. Oh, but I need the quantity of XRP, and it's like $2.27. So if I buy, all right, now we should have our 1,500 XRP. So if we come back over to our account here, base currency, I have 1,493. I need 1,600. What the hell is going on here? And now this bot's going to have a total value of $10,000, but I need 0.7 BTC, and I only have 0.69. So we need to bring this down just a 96%. It'll be $9,851. And I have enough BTC, 0.692, 1,493 XRP. I need 1,300. So what I'm doing is I'm just adjusting this slider, right, to try to get those numbers to be pretty close to accurate. And if I go down here, okay, and it looks like that's going to allow us to start this bot. Now that we have everything set up, we're going to want to make sure we have trailing on, turned on. We need to go check this bot and make sure we have trailing down turned on as well. And then we're going to say we're willing to go down to, this was our level down here. We're willing to bring our trailing on down as low as 1,024. So 0.0000124. That's as low as we're willing to let this trailing bot go down on. And we're going to hit start. We're going to hit continue. And we're going to hit start bot. We'll see. Sometimes they don't want to start for some reason, whether you don't have enough currency or it goes to try to set your bot up and something's just not right with the way that it's set up. So it'll actually turn that bot off. It'll start to put your lines up there and it'll just freeze up and it'll just go, nope, sorry. You'll fail at like placing, your orders, which is placing it looks like 98 separate individual orders. Now there are times that you really definitely don't want to start a bot, right? Anytime you see price putting in a new, basically insane, crazy, all-time high, like this up here, like this up here, like this up here, right? When you're pretty confident that price is going to continue to come down, 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 down. Like even now, technically, I probably should have waited for price to stabilize somewhere around in this area, but you know, it is what it is. And you see it, error, server timed out. Let's try it again. And now you can see, oh, okay, it didn't time out. Looks like our bot's running. So we got our bot set up. You can see it right here. It's active. It has no portfolio, no profits. And we can go back to our other bot, which we started roughly 21 hours ago. And it is up a total profit, which the total P&Ls from the time you started it is $113. And you can see that this XRP bot just must have bought its first trade or made its first trade. Boom, there it is. Price came down. It put a buy order and it's already made a trade. It's already chasing dots. So that is how I would set up the grid. Again, look at the grid spacing on this one. We're talking about a 33% grid. That is amazing. And at total grid lines, that's the one thing I didn't check out to see exactly how many grids that we actually have. So we go to bot actions and we go to view details and we have 98 grid levels. So now the dangerous part about this is if price does keep coming all the way down, you don't have the ability to set up more grids. Oh, actually, you probably do on these ones. I think on altcoin bots, you can go up to 200 grids. So yeah, versus a Bitcoin bot, you can only have 100 grids. So if you run out of grids, your bot technically turns off and you can't turn it back on. With these altcoin bots, you should be able to set up a maximum of 200 grids. So this is pretty sweet. So I think I'm pretty set up now. The next reason that I wanted to set up another bot, right? Because I showed you guys how profitable or how much more profitable a bot can be when your exchange fees are low. All right, so now let's take a look at the exchange fee aspect of this because BYBIT has some amazing discounts when you get your fee levels down to a certain price. So if we swing over to BYBIT's website, you can see the actual fee structure for trading fees. And this is the spot fee trading structure. And you can see the different levels. So if you are talking about 30-day spot trade volume, if you are less than 555,000, your fees don't really change. Now, when you talk about getting up to VIP level 1, you're doing over $1 million in fees, they become a point fee. For spot trading, right now, the fee is 0.1, okay? If you get a VIP, it's 0.8. So let's just take a look at what those denominations are. So ignore this taker and maker fee over here because for some reason it's trying to say that it's 0.2, but it's not. It's just 0.1. So if you are VIP 1, you're getting basically a 0.1 fee. Now, if you're doing over 5 million, which I've showed you guys how easy it is to go over $5 million in trades, you're talking about you're going down to a 0.0775. So you're literally saving almost 25% by allowing or setting up multiple bots because it's going to increase your trade volume. Even if that bot just breaks even, but it trades $2.5 million and then that allows you to go up to a VIP level 2, you're going to save yourself 25%. That bot is going to instantly become 25% more profitable. And then if you get up to 10 million, you're going down to 775. If you're going up to 25 million, which I've had my bots break one time, you're talking about 0.6. So that bot becomes 40% more profitable. And then if you can get above $50 million a month in trade volume, and you're only paying a 0.05% fee, which is astronomically insane. So you can see the huge advantage to setting up multiple bots, especially if your goal is to make more Bitcoin and generate more passive income so you can stack more sats, which is the name of the game. I've been in crypto a very long time, folks, for almost 10 years now. I've never once found a strategy that can continuously generate you passive income without you having to become an expert at something, without you having to, scam or slice or shiesty or be corrupt or influence peddle or anything of the sort. These bots are the only way that I've ever seen or found out a way for anybody to generate passive income. So hopefully you found this video helpful. You guys can see now the fee structure as you get more trade, as your bots trade more and they level up. Just going from a VIP level 1 to a level 2 isn't going to increase your profits on that bot by almost 20%. Level 3 is about 25%, and level 4 is 40%. So that 40%, if that bot, let's say over that year, made you $12,000, and you can increase that by 40%, Now your bot's making you, what is that? 6,000 on top of 12,000 be 18,000. That's a huge difference. It's a huge difference. So if you have the opportunity to set up, a XRP shitcoin bot, and hopefully all it does is just break you even, but it adds, $5 million a month to your trade volume, great. Because now all of your bots just became that much more profitable. So again, my name is Ryan Matta. Thank you guys for the support. If you guys want to continue to support our work, you guys can check out my documentaries. If you go to www.thisistreason.com, you can see my amazing investigative journalism with pro expert, border czar expert, JJ Carroll in the Treason series. So if you guys would like to support our work, you guys can go over to my website, www.thisistreason. You'll find my first 2 films. Both of those films are behind a paywall, but if you use the promo code MATTA, it'll get you 50% off. Or you can go over to X and check out my newest documentary, Operation Amber Alert. We're on a mission to rescue the 452,121 missing migrant children that our government has trafficked into America. These are children between the ages of 0 and 17 who have been trafficked and kidnapped from 180 different nations, trafficked through Mexico, brought to the U.S., where they are then handed over to our government. Our government takes possession of them and has delivered them. These are 13-year-old girls that they delivered to 49-year-old men all throughout a country. And they have openly admitted as of December 14th of 2024 to openly losing 340,000 of these poor children. So if you guys want to hear this story and you guys want to see all the facts and evidence that I've gathered and put together in this blockbuster style documentary, please, please, please swing over to ryanmattamedia on X. That is my Twitter. At the very top of my X, you'll see my documentary pinned right there at the top of the timeline. So God bless you guys. If you guys could spare skipping a cup of coffee, these Bitcoin digital courses are free. They're paid for my paid members as well. They just get them first, but this information will be distributed and put out on Rumble and all these platforms for free, so you can actually gain access to it. And if there's anything that I can do to help you guys, feel free to slide into my DMs. My DMs on Twitter are always open. And if there's any other videos or tutorials or courses or anything else related to Bitcoin that you would like more knowledge or a better help understanding, please, please, please drop those comments below. Shoot me a DM on X. I'm very, very responsive over on X. And you can also follow me on my crypto Twitter as well, which is @shotsbymatta_. God bless you guys. We out. Peace.